Something has been growing in you. You did not see it happen. It happened anyway, quietly, underneath the days you thought were ordinary, underneath the prayers you thought were unanswered, underneath the version of yourself you have been so tired of being. Something was growing, and I want to ask you a question now, before we go any further. A question I have been holding for you for a long time. What is happening inside of you that you have not yet found the words for? Stop here a second. Do not read the next sentence yet, because I want you to feel the weight of that question land somewhere real, not in your head, not in the part of you that knows the right answer to give, in the deeper place, the place that knows things your mouth has not learned how to say. A change has been moving through you for a long time, and the reason you have not noticed is the same reason a person never sees their own face age in the mirror. You see yourself every day. The change is too gradual to register. The growth is too quiet to hear. But step away for a year, then look back at a picture, and the truth becomes obvious. You are not the same person. You have not been the same person for a long time. And I, who have been watching every single day, can tell you exactly what has changed. You are stronger than you were a year ago, not because life got easier. It did not. You are stronger because the carrying made you stronger, even when the carrying felt like it was about to break you. The muscles you developed were spiritual muscles. You did not feel them growing because spiritual muscles do not ache the way the body's muscles ache. They simply appear, fully formed, on the day you finally need them. You are more patient than you were. The same situations that used to undo you do not undo you anymore. Notice this, honor it. The line that used to be your edge is now somewhere far behind you. You moved that line and you did not even celebrate. I want to celebrate it for you because I saw it move. You have forgiven things you would not have forgiven a few years ago. Not because the wound got smaller. The wound is the same size it always was. You got bigger. You grew around the wound the way a tree grows around a nail driven into its bark. The nail is still there, but the tree is no longer defined by it. The tree is defined by the rings of growth that surround it. You love better. You listen better. You hold silence with people in pain better than you used to. You have learned things that no class teaches and no book contains, because the only way to learn them is to walk through the kind of nights you have walked through, and you walked through them, and you arrived, and you did not even stop to acknowledge that you arrived. So this is what I am asking you, right here, before anything else. What is happening inside of you that you have not yet found the words for? Put your hand on your chest right now. Just leave it there. Feel your heartbeat under your palm. That is the same heart that has been keeping rhythm through everything, every panic, every disappointment, every quiet midnight, every morning you did not want to get up but got up anyway. That heart is the witness. It knows what your mind has not yet caught up to. A quiet becoming has been at work in you. And I am here to bless what has been growing, even before you can name it. I want you to understand what I am doing in your life right now. I am not waiting for you to have it all figured out. I am not standing at the gate of the next blessing with a clipboard, checking to see if you have completed every requirement. The blessing has already been released. The growth has already happened. The transformation is already underway. What I am asking you to do now is not earn it. What I am asking you to do is notice it. Because here is the truth that has been hidden in plain sight for most of your life. The blessings you have received have far outnumbered the ones you have remembered. You have been carried more than you have been challenged. You have been held more than you have been hurt. The math of your life has tilted toward grace for so long that you stopped counting. And the moment you stop counting, you start believing the lie that there has not been much to count. There has been much. There has been more than much. Whisper this back to me, slowly. Just these 5 words. Something has been growing in me. Say it without performing it. Say it like a person admitting something they have been afraid to admit. because to admit growth is to admit that the suffering was not wasted. To admit growth is to admit that the seasons you wanted to skip were the seasons that built you. To admit growth is to admit that I have been faithful in places where you accused me of being absent, and I know that admission costs something. I know it asks you to give up the right to stay angry about how long it took. I know it asks you to release the version of the story where you were alone the whole time. You were not alone the whole time. I walked beside you. My presence surrounded you in the rooms where you thought you were the only one breathing. I stood with you in the hospitals and the parking lots and the kitchens at 3 in the morning. You did not always feel me, because feeling is not always the indicator of presence. A father stands at the door of the bedroom where his sleeping child is unaware. The child does not feel watched. The child is still watched. That was you. That was many of the years you remember as silent. So now, in this moment, with my hand on the part of you that has been growing without permission, I want to do what no one has thought to do for you. I want to stop and bless it. I want to mark it. I want to declare it visible, because growth that is not named has a way of receding back into invisibility, and I will not let yours recede. What has unfolded inside of you these years deserves a name, and today is the day it gets named. Look at the patience you have now that you did not have at 20. Look at the way you can sit with someone else's grief without trying to fix it. Look at the prayers you pray for people who hurt you, the prayers you would have refused to pray a decade ago. Look at the way you forgive yourself faster now, even if not as fast as you would like. Look at the silence you can tolerate without panicking. Look at the way you have stopped chasing certain people, certain validations, certain doors that used to consume you. That is not a small thing. That is enormous. That is the slow miracle of a soul becoming itself. I see all of it. I have seen all of it. And I have been blessing every single inch of that growth, even while you doubted it was happening. Close your eyes for a moment if you can, just for the length of 3 breaths. Breathe in once. Let yourself imagine that I am asking you the question, what is happening inside of you that you have not yet found the words for? Breathe in twice. Let yourself feel the smallest answer, the one you would not say out loud, the one that surprises you with how true it is. Breathe in 3 times. Let yourself receive the truth that the answer is good. Whatever it is good. The growth is good. The change is good. The you that is becoming is good. Open your eyes. Stay with me. We are not done. I am going to tell you what I am most proud of in your life, and I want you to listen carefully. Because what makes me proud of you is almost never what you would expect. The world taught you to perform for approval. So you assumed I was watching for the same things the world was watching for. The achievements, the visible victories, the completed projects, the numbers that say you matter. I do not watch for those things. I watch for what they cost you and what they did to your character. I am proud of the time you stayed honest when a small lie would have made everything easier. I am proud of the moment you said sorry first when you knew you were not the only one who owed an apology. I am proud of the prayer you whispered in the car for someone who would never know you prayed it. I am proud of the kindness you extended to the cashier on the day you were on your last nerve. I am proud of the way you held your tongue when your tongue could have done damage. I am proud of the way you got back up the morning after the fall you thought would be the final fall. I am proud of the smallness of you, because the smallness of you is where the realness lives. The world rewards big. I treasure small. Small choices, made consistently, are how a soul is built, and your soul has been built beautifully, painfully, quietly, while you were not even watching. This is the part I want you to hear without flinching. The growth happened. It is not coming. It is not pending. It already happened. The wait you are still doing is not a wait for growth. The growth is finished. What you are waiting for now is recognition. From yourself, from me, from the life that is about to begin, reflecting back to you what you have already become, and I am giving you the recognition right now. A new self has been forming inside the old story, and I see it, and it is good, and I bless it. If these words are landing in you, leave the word grateful in the comments, not for me, for your own commitment to seeing what has been hidden in plain sight. Speaking it out where someone else can read it is a way of refusing to forget it. Refuse to forget. Refuse to keep walking past your own growth like it belongs to someone else. Because what comes next in your life depends on whether you can receive what has already happened. Listen, there is a reason I am asking you about gratitude before I tell you what is coming. Most people approach me with their hands full of requests. They show up wanting, they show up asking, they show up ready to negotiate for the next thing, and I love them for it. I am not offended by hunger. Hunger is honest. Hunger is one of the things that brings people home to me when nothing else will. But hunger has a blind spot. Hunger forgets to count what is already on the table. And when you forget to count what is already on the table, you forget who set the table in the first place. You forget that your seat at it was prepared, not earned. You forget that you have eaten well, even on the nights you went to bed, believing you had eaten poorly. I want to feed you again. I want to multiply what I have already multiplied for you. But the way you receive more from me is by becoming someone who can recognize what they have already received from me. Recognition is not optional. Recognition is the soil that the next harvest grows in. If the soil of your heart is dry from forgetting, the next blessing will struggle to take root. If the soil is rich with gratitude, the next blessing will sink in deep and produce something extraordinary. So this is the question, and I am asking it again, not to repeat myself. To make sure you are still here, what is happening inside of you that you have not yet found the words for? Take your time with it. There is no test on the other side of this question. There is only me listening. I want to tell you about the things you do not see, the things that have been happening on your behalf without your knowledge. Because when I say the math of your life has tilted toward grace, I am not speaking poetically. I am speaking factually. There have been doors I have closed in front of you that you spent months grieving as failures. Those doors were mercies. There have been people who walked away from you when you wanted them to stay. Those exits were protections. There have been delays you cursed at the time. Delays that felt like punishment, delays that made you question whether I was even listening. Those delays were the only reason you arrived at the place you are standing now. If you had received what you asked for at the moment you asked for it, you would have received it as the smaller version of yourself, the version who could not yet hold the gift, the version who would have spent the gift in a week and had nothing to show for it. So I let the delay do its work. I let the silence do its work. I let the longing do its work. And when you finally received what you received it as someone capable of stewarding it. That is not punishment. That is investment. Now I am telling you, the investment is paying out. The yield is coming in. The ground that was being prepared is becoming the ground that produces. And you are still walking around, acting like nothing has shifted. Something has shifted. Everything has shifted. You shifted. Look at how you handle conflict now. Look at how you receive criticism now. Look at how you wait for what you want without unraveling the way you used to unravel. Look at how you know the difference between a feeling and a fact. Look at how rare it is now for someone else's mood to set the temperature of your day. These are not small things. These are the markers of a life being rebuilt from the inside out. These are the signs of a person who has been in conversation with me, even on the days they thought they were not. I want to be honest with you about something. There have been seasons in your life where you were hard on yourself in ways I never asked you to be. You measured yourself against versions of other people you only saw the highlights of. You measured yourself against the version of you that you were before the hard thing happened. You measured yourself against an imagined timeline that was never realistic and never mine, and every measurement told you that you were behind, that you were less, that you had failed to keep up. I never put you on that schedule. I want to release you from it now. The schedule I am on with you is slower than the world's schedule. It is also kinder. It is also more thorough. The world wants speed because the world is impatient. I want depth because I am preparing you for forever. The work I am doing in you is not work for next week. It is work for the next chapter of your eternity. And eternity does not panic about timelines. Eternity has all the room it needs. So when you compare your growth to someone else's announcement, you are comparing depth to surface. The other person may look further along. The other person may not be further along at all. The other person is fighting a battle you cannot see, winning some rounds and losing others, the same way you are. There is no scoreboard. There is only what is true. And what is true is that you have been growing in your own way, on your own timeline, with my hand on your back the whole time. Stop here a second. Don't read the next sentence yet. I want you to feel that. My hand has been on your back the whole time. Even when you walked into the room thinking you walked in alone. Even when you went to bed, convinced no one knew what the day had cost you. My hand was on your back, steadying you, pressing you forward when you wanted to fall behind, holding you in place when you wanted to bolt. I have been with you, and the proof is that you are still standing. Stand a person up alone, and they fall by the second week. You did not fall. You bent, you wavered, you questioned, but you did not fall. That alone is testimony. That alone is evidence. Now hear what I am building toward, because this is where it gets specific. I am about to bless you in a measure that will require you to remember this conversation. A blessing that arrives in a heart that has not learned gratitude is a blessing that will leak out the bottom. A blessing that arrives in a heart that has been trained in gratitude is a blessing that compounds. The difference between a person who receives once and a person who receives for a lifetime is not how much they were given. It is how much they remembered to be thankful for what came before. So I am training you right now. With this conversation, I am training the muscle that turns gifts into harvests. I am training the muscle that says, thank you before, during, and after, instead of only at the moment of arrival. I am training the muscle that recognizes me in the small things so that I can be entrusted to you in the large things. Because there are large things coming. I will not tell you their names yet. The names are not yours to know in advance. But the shape of what I am sending will require a vessel that has practiced recognition, and you are practicing right now, even as you read this. You did not know that. Now you do. Whisper this back to me. Slowly, just 3 words. Thank you, Father, or thank you, God, or whatever name your heart uses when it is being honest with me. Whisper it once, and then notice what happens in your chest. Notice the way the shoulders drop. Notice the way the air feels different in your lungs. That is not coincidence. That is what gratitude does to a body. It returns the body to itself. It tells the nervous system that the threat is over and the provision has come. You have been provided for. You are being provided for. You will be provided for. I want to address something that some of you are carrying as you listen. There is a quiet pain in some of you that says, but you do not understand my situation. There is a thing that is not yet resolved. There is a prayer that has been waiting too long. There is a person who is missing from your life. There is a healing that has not yet come, and you are wondering how I can ask you to feel grateful when the very thing you have been begging me for has not arrived. I hear you. I am not going to dismiss what you are saying, but I want to put a thought beside that pain, gently. Not to replace it, to stand next to it. The unanswered place in your life is not a sign that I have stopped working. It is the room I am still working in. The reason it is not closed yet is because what I am building inside it is more than what you originally asked for. The original request was the doorway. The actual gift is the whole house behind the door, and the house takes longer than the door takes. You are not in delay. You are in construction. While you have been waiting on the one specific answer, I have been answering 1,000 other prayers you forgot you prayed. The friend who showed up when you needed them. The bill that got covered when you did not know how. The illness that did not progress. The accident that did not happen. The relationship that did not end the way it could have ended. The opportunity that arrived right when the previous one closed. These are not coincidences. These are the chorus of small yeses that have been singing under the one big maybe you keep focusing on. The big maybe will become a yes. I am not telling you when. I am telling you it will. But while it is becoming, the small yeses are pouring in like rain on a field you have not been watching. And the rain is the reason the field will be ready when the big yes finally arrives. Stop here. Look up from this. Look at your life, just for a second. What rain has been falling on you that you have not been counting? The deep rest that arrived when your body was at its limit. The phone call that came at the right moment. The traffic light that turned green when you were running late. The kindness from a stranger you were not expecting. The strength to keep going when you were sure you were out of strength. The clarity that arrived in the shower. The peace that visited you at a funeral when you should have come undone. These are mine. Every single one of them. I sent them. I timed them. I placed them in your day on purpose. And you, beautiful, exhausted, beloved one, walked through them without saying thank you. Not because you were ungrateful, because you were tired. Because the bigger thing was so loud you could not hear the smaller things. I forgive that. I forgive it completely. But I am asking you now to come back and gather them, the way a farmer gathers what fell in the field after the harvest. There is so much that fell. There is so much you missed. Come back and gather it now while we are here together. Sit with me. Let me name some of them for you, since you have not named them yourself. You are still breathing. That alone is a blessing some did not receive this year. You have a roof, in some form, somewhere. You have at least one person who would notice if you went missing. You have memories that make you laugh, even when the present is hard. You have the capacity to be moved by beauty. You have hope, even if it is small, even if it is the size of a mustard seed, even if you have to dig for it. You have a working mind that can read these words and understand them. You have a heart that, despite everything, is still soft enough to be touched by a stranger's voice talking to you about being seen. These are not nothing. These are everything. The world will tell you that you need more before you can be content. I am telling you that you have the foundation. Build the gratitude on the foundation that already exists, and watch what I add on top of it. I want to speak to you for a moment about your home, not the building, the atmosphere of it, the quality of the air inside the rooms where the people you love sleep and eat and argue and make peace, because something has been growing there too, even when the days felt heavy and the conversations felt short. The walls have been listening. The walls remember. They remember every prayer that was whispered in the kitchen. They remember every quiet apology offered before a door closed. They remember every morning that someone, somewhere in that house, decided not to give up on the people inside it. That decision, made over and over by you, has been weaving a covering over the place where you live. You did not always feel like you were doing something holy. Most of the time it felt like you were just surviving the next dinner, the next bill, the next misunderstanding, but the holiness was happening. The holiness was the survival. The holiness was the choosing of love when love was the harder option. I bless your home. I bless the corners of it that have heard you cry. I bless the table where you have eaten meals that nourished more than your body. I bless the doorway you have walked through 10,000 times without thinking that the doorway itself was a witness. It was. It is. Everything is a witness when I am the one paying attention. Speak good things in those rooms. Let your voice carry kindness into the air. Let the words that fall from your lips be words you would be proud to hear played back. The people who share your space are absorbing what you say more deeply than they let on. A child remembers the tone of a father's voice for 60 years. A spouse carries the words of an argument into rooms you will never see. A friend who stops by once tracks an invisible weight in or out of the house depending on how the conversation went. None of it is small. All of it is being woven into something larger than the moment. I am present in those rooms, not as a guest, as family. I have moved in. I am not leaving. The questions you have asked me in the dark hours, the help you have begged for over the kitchen sink, the quiet thank you that escaped you when no one was around to hear it. All of it has anchored me in the place where you live. Your home is mine now. I will not let it be undefended. I will not let what is being built there be torn down by the cheap noise of the world or the slow erosion of habit. So if you have been worried about the people you love, and you have, because love does that, I want you to set the worry down for a moment. Not forever, for just a moment. Long enough to remember that they are mine. They were mine before they were yours. They are mine on the days you do not know how to reach them. They are mine in the hours when you cannot find the right thing to say. I am working in their lives the way I have been working in yours. Quietly, patiently, with more thoroughness than the speed of their lives can show. Pray for them. Keep praying for them. Pray for them by name, even when the relationship feels stuck. Pray for them on the days they are difficult. Pray for them on the days you are difficult. The prayer is doing something. The prayer is doing more than the visible reaction. Some of the prayers you have prayed for the people in your home have already been answered, and you do not know it yet because the answer is still arriving, still becoming visible, still settling into the soil of their lives. I want to say something else, because I see you, and I see what you are carrying for others, and I do not want it to go unnoticed. You have been a quiet shelter for someone who does not know how to thank you for it. You have made room in your life for a person whose presence costs you. You have absorbed difficulty so that someone else did not have to absorb it. You have been the steady one in a system that was not steady, and no one has properly thanked you for any of it. The world does not have a vocabulary for what you have done. There is no award for it. There is no public recognition for it. It happens in the dark and stays in the dark. I see it in the dark. I have always seen it, and I am marking it now while we are together. I am calling out the unrewarded labor of love that has been the silent backbone of your life. The phone calls you took when you were exhausted, the visits you made when you did not feel like making them, the forgiveness you extended when forgiveness was undeserved, the patience you had to find inside yourself when you were fresh out of patience. All of it counts. All of it has been counted by me forever. You did not do those things to be repaid. I know that. The fact that you did not do them to be repaid is exactly why I want to repay them. The repayment will not always look the way the world's repayment looks. It will not always come in the form of money or applause. It will come in deeper forms, in peace that arrives without explanation, in the absence of fear at moments when fear used to dominate, in the laughter of people you love returning to your home, in the kind of sleep that visits a person whose conscience is at rest. These are my forms of payment. They are richer than the world's. They last. Whisper this back to me, slowly. Just 4 words. I have been carried. Say it without arguing with it. Say it the way a person finally agrees to sit down after standing for too long, because the moment you let yourself agree that you have been carried, the carrying becomes more visible, and the strength that has been on loan to you becomes available again in measure. You have been carried. You are being carried. You will be carried. There is a particular kind of fatigue that comes from forgetting to be grateful, and I have been watching it settle on a lot of you. It is not the fatigue of physical work. It is the fatigue of a soul that has been giving without remembering to receive. A river that pours out without ever pouring back in eventually runs dry. I do not want you to run dry. So I am building this conversation as a place where you can pour back in, where you can stand under the rain you have been ignoring, where you can let yourself be replenished by the very things you have been taking for granted. Replenishment is allowed. You do not have to earn it. You can receive it now. Because here is what I am promising you. The moment you become a person who can receive small things with a full heart, you become a person who can be trusted with large things. Largeness without gratitude becomes a curse. I have seen it ruin lives. I have watched people receive everything they asked for and lose the ability to be human because they had not first learned to be grateful for the air they were breathing. I will not let that happen to you. I love you too much to give you what would destroy you, so I am training you now, through this conversation, through this moment, through the slow, patient work of asking you again and again what is happening inside of you that you have not yet found the words for. The answer is gratitude. The answer is that you have been carried. The answer is that the unfinished places in your life are not abandonment. They are unfinished because the gift is bigger than you yet realize, and a bigger gift takes a bigger preparation. I want you to trust the preparation. Something has been growing in you. The ability to hold what is coming, the capacity to receive without grasping, the wisdom to recognize the giver, not just the gift. These are not small upgrades. These are character. And character is the only thing you take with you when everything else is stripped away. I want to bless you now in a way that I don't bless everyone, because not everyone is willing to sit with this kind of truth. I bless the version of you that has been doing the unseen work, the version that has been forgiving in private, the version that has been praying without an audience, the version that has been showing up to your life on the days you did not feel like showing up. The version that has been kind to people who could not return the kindness. The version that has been honest in rooms where dishonesty would have been easier. I bless that version of you. I bless every cell of effort, every quiet act of decency, every choice you did not even register as a choice, because by now those choices have become who you are. You have become who you are. Hear that. Receive that. You have become who you are. The becoming has happened. The construction has finished its essential work. There is more to come, of course. There is always more to come. But the foundation is laid. The bones of the house are in. The structure is sound. The rest is detail and decoration. This is no small thing. Some people spend their entire lives never arriving at themselves. They run from themselves until the running is the only thing that defines them. You have not done that. You have stayed. You have stayed in your own life, even when staying was the harder choice, and staying is the prerequisite for everything I want to do next. I want to give you a vision of what is in front of you, but I will only give you the outline, not the details. The details are mine to keep until they arrive. There is a season coming where the things you have planted invisibly will become visible, where the friendships you have tended quietly will return harvests of joy, where the work you have done with no one watching will be honored in front of people whose opinion you used to chase, where the prayers you stopped expecting answers from will be answered, sometimes in forms you do not at first recognize, where you will look back at this exact moment, this exact reading of these exact words, as one of the small turning points where something inside you shifted. You will not be able to point to a single dramatic event. The shift will be quieter than that. It will look like a slow morning where you suddenly notice that the heaviness is lifted. It will look like a conversation where you say something true and the room receives it. It will look like a decision you make without agonizing, because the agonizing has finally ended. It will look like waking up one day and realizing that the fear that used to define your mornings is no longer present and you don't know exactly when it left. This is how I move. quietly, inevitably, faithfully. The way water moves stone, you are the stone that has been moved by water. The water is my presence. The shape you are in now is the shape my presence has been making in you for years, and that shape is beautiful. That shape is exactly what I intended. A long, slow ripening has done its work in you. The growth is finished enough to be celebrated. The next chapter of your life will reveal what was grown, and I will be standing beside you when it does, the same way I have been standing beside you all along. Closer than your breath, more patient than your pain, steadier than the ground you walked on through the years that almost broke you but did not. You are not broken. You are built by hands that have not stopped working on you. Even when you assumed I was elsewhere, I have never been elsewhere. So when you ask me, what is happening? Why am I here? What is the meaning of this season? Why has it taken this long? The answer is the same answer it has been from the beginning. You are growing. You are blessed. I am with you. I am for you. The thing you have been waiting for is becoming the thing you are ready to receive. The wait was not a waste. The wait was the work, and the work is nearly done. Lift your eyes, not to the sky, to your own life. Look at it. Really look. Not the way you look when you are critiquing it, the way you look when you are about to thank a person for what they made for you, because that is what your life is. It is something I have been making with you, with your participation, even when you did not know you were participating, with your tears, even when you thought your tears were unproductive, with your laughter, even when you thought your laughter was unimportant. Everything has been part of it. Nothing has been wasted. Receive that. I want you to do one more thing before we close. Just one thing. Speak your own name out loud. Just once. Quietly is fine. The volume does not matter. What matters is that you let your name come out of your own mouth in this moment, while these words are still warm in you, because I want to attach what I have just said to a specific person, not a general listener. You, your name, said by your own voice. Your name is the doorway through which my blessing arrives. It is more than a label. It is the address I have been sending letters to your whole life. Some of those letters you opened, some you did not. The ones you did not are not lost. They are waiting on a shelf in their original envelopes, ready to be opened when you are ready to read them. And you are getting ready. I can feel it. The shelf is getting closer. So now I bless your name. By the sound of it, by the meaning of it, whether you know that meaning or not, by the family it came from, and the future it is heading toward. I bless your hands, which have done more than they have been thanked for. I bless your shoulders, which have carried more than they were designed to carry. I bless your feet, which have walked into rooms that took courage to enter. I bless your heart, which has stayed open, even when closing it would have been easier. I bless your mind, which has held memories that could have crushed it, but did not. I bless your tears, the ones you let fall and the ones you held back. I bless your silences, the ones that were prayers and the ones that were exhaustion. I bless your questions, the ones you ask me and the ones you have stopped asking me, assuming I would not answer. I am answering all of them now, with one answer, and the answer is yes. Yes to your becoming. Yes to your gentleness. Yes to your wild, persistent, undeniable hope. Yes to the growth that has been happening in you.